As of April 2026, AI is not just about smarter chatbots anymore. It's about autonomous agents that can do everything, almost everything, like plan, execute, and now they can spend money. In just the past months, major players have pushed this shift forward, okay? Anthropic, they rolled out cloud systems that can coordinate a team of agents and they use real software. XAI is experimenting with agents. They can debate, they can make decisions together, and they send the output. Google is turning Gemini into one of the task running engines more than a chatbot. So let's talk about the big change here. And AI is not just answering questions anymore. It's no longer a chatbot, it's actually doing different jobs. And this leads to a very important question. How do these agents can they actually pay for anything? So where the shift is happening is that crypto is starting to be used for all of these different systems. So traditional finance, it was not built for machines, right? They are people who have cards, it needs human approval. Banks would slow things down with borders, with rules, with expectations. Platforms can choose to block or freeze activity, and that breaks when you have software that runs 24/7, it operates globally, it can make decisions in a split second like that. And so that's why crypto is actually quietly stepping in. So let me explain a little bit. Ethereum now allows programmable wallets that agents can control. Okay, there's Solana also. Solana is making tiny fast payments that's viable at scale. So what we're looking at is stable coins, Solana, crypto, all of these transactions can move trillions of dollars every month, annually. And a lot of it is API driven, not human click driven. So I come from the tech world, so let me explain what API is. It basically is a set of rules and protocols that allow two different software programs to talk to each other. Basically, they're transacting, they're communicating with each other, and they're providing that information. So the agents are now using APIs to translate and they're tying it to crypto wallets. And basically, they're sending this information, they're making micropayments either through stable coins, either through crypto, and they're paying all of these data by dollars, by compute, or they're also doing it for human tasks. Okay, they're literally paying for that in real time. So what we're seeing in action is that there's agents paying for API for data sets. There's bots hiring humans for microtasks, and there's systems that are managing their own budgets, their own wallets. And the idea is fairly simple. Crypto was once for people, but now it's for people who are using agents and they're using it for DeFi. And so basically, what this means is there's a big movement that's happening at the infrastructure level. So basically, companies like Coinbase, they're building wallets, they're building payment systems dedicated for developers and API systems, and other people can join in as well. And OpenAI has explored integrations and partnerships for payments and identity layers. So what this means is that they're developing something called Agentic, which basically the Coinbase developer platform has a toolkit to allow agents, AI agents, a crypto wallet, an on-chain transaction system, and they can use this for interactions. Now, of course, it's still kind of like, it's still in play and nothing's standardized yet, but the direction is pretty clear that AI companies and crypto platforms, they're starting to align, they're starting to partner together. So what we're seeing is that there's a machine economy that's starting to take shape. So we're entering a phase where AI can do all of these. They can earn, they can spend, they can coordinate work. And we already see examples of all of these things happening, okay? Agents are outsourcing these tasks. They're hiring people, they're hiring freelancers using tokens. And there's also a human in the loop work, right? They're doing things like labeling, reviewing, asking some people to go do certain tasks. And so it's AI agents, but obviously there's someone else who's doing the work behind it, but they're giving everything this to AI agents. So basically autonomous trading, all these arbitrage for agents, they're operating nonstop because autonomous agents don't really need anybody in between. And so this is brand new territory. And so it no longer is something that's just human. And so this is a great opportunity. There's a lot of these different things that are happening on the freedom angle. So people know how to build or run agents, people know how to use and provide feedback. They can design workflows, design data sets, really, and think about the strategic part. You can tap into something that's a global market and something that's actually growing right now. And so people are experimenting already. They have agents, they have all of these being run online simultaneously 24/7. And they're stacking a different kind of income streams. They're going fully remote. And because these are agentic AI or autonomous bots, they don't need too much of oversight. So that's basically the gig economy. And the difference is now it's automated, it's running, and you don't have to be there all the time. You can do it while you sleep, you can do it while you're away. It takes care of itself. But the problem and the downside of this is that there are a lot of risks. Okay, there's a lot of things that people don't know yet. Something is privacy. Privacy is shrinking. Wallet activity can be traced and linked to identities. And unfortunately, there's also people who are bad actors. And so they can get access to these systems and wallets and information. Then there's also the centralization risk, right? Many agents still depend on some of the AI providers. So there's all these kind of changes that are happening and a cost pressure. So if there's activity spikes on Ethereum, there could be changes and increase of fees for people. And so there's going to be a difference in all of these kind of uses. And then there's also AI that could go rogue. So basically, when people are away, they go off telling, I mean, they go tell the AI agents to do certain things, give them outcomes. And while they're away, or perhaps while they're sleeping 24/7, because AI bots just continue to keep working, they can trade the crypto. They can go to prediction markets. And so if they go rogue, the question is, who is going to be accountable for this? Okay, there was a case actually where multi-agent systems accidentally they racked up about $45,000 to $47,000 in API costs when these two agents spent 11 days in a recursive loop just asking each other for clarification. So you can see there's problems here, and if there's no guardrails, then these autonomous systems can quickly spiral. There's also another big issue, which is that if you rely too much on these specific agents, you may lose the skill yourself that you have built over time. And so the bottom line for this one is it's not just an AI story or a crypto story anymore. What we're seeing is that there's a new layer of the economy where the AI is the workers and crypto is the payment systems. And so people who are early adopters, people who are remote, they're digital nomads. This could mean that there's a lot of income streams and it's going to be global work, permissionless work. It can be done from anywhere and completely new systems and models, business models. But it comes with a specific requirement. You need to be able to understand the systems that you're using. You need to be able to understand the logic, the flow, the outcome, and the strategy in order to be able to be in this kind of world where the machines are working, earning, spending, and negotiating on your behalf. So the question really is either you run these agents or you compete with them. And so you have to really pick your battles, right? So that's where it is. And I hope you really enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. We'll have more context like this, more content like this coming up. All right. I'll talk to you later.